OK, Dan, thank you. Well, I'm joined now by James Woodhousen, Professor of Forecasting and Innovation at London South Bank University. Thanks for joining us this morning, James. Should we be worried by these figures by Ofcom?
No, I don't think so. I think your coverage suggesting that it's all addiction and dependency is quite wrong, actually. We're supposed to be addicted to and dependent upon shopping, shopaholics, alcohol and drugs, obviously, but also, apart from retailing, we're supposed to be addicted to sex since Bill Clinton, gambling, video games. The only thing that's not questioned in this narrative is the metaphor of addiction itself. And actually, if you look at the Ofcom figures, you'll find that people declare very low percentages of being worried about not having a mobile phone, of being stripped of it and so on, or of being always at work because they carry a mobile phone. There's no need to be alarmist, like Ofcom is, about our reputed behavioral addiction. You'll find that only 17% or 23%.
But isn't the point now that people feel that they can't be stripped of their mobile phones? Just looking at the figures, you know, people say that the average person spends 24 hours a week on their mobile phones. They check their phones every 12 minutes and 5 minutes after getting up in the morning.
Yeah, I heard what you said. But, you know, the fact that we check our phones so often does not indicate addiction. You know, I scratch myself fairly often, and the phone is now part of my body like everybody else. So what's the problem? Could the more fast-moving pace of events since Trump and Brexit explain why we're you know, using them more? Could the crisis of family life, where we need to talk to friends and relatives more, have anything to do with it?
But do you not think it could add to the crisis of family life, you know, given that, you know, there's less face-to-face time between family members when they're at home?
Yes, but that you can't put it all down to electrons, Kamal. You know, we're working quite long hours. We're commuting for a very long time. There are many other factors, economic insecurity in particular, that explains why we feel the need to be in touch with colleagues, with friends, and with the news. None of that can be put down just to mobile phones. That's just a mediator in the whole affair. And I think Ofcom's very complacent about other things. You know, they are indicting us for being addicted to everything, but they say that, you know, they hint really that everybody's got 4G, everybody's got super fast broadband, there's no problems with the penetration of broadband around Britain. This is not the case. The infrastructure to get Wi-Fi in a restaurant or a pub, or to be able to really be online on your commute, they spend quite a lot of time talking about commuting, but you and I know that it's very difficult to use a mobile phone in a whole lot of places, overground, underground. You're not allowed to use it quite properly with cars. So, you know, we should be talking about the infrastructural deficit just as much as we should be lampooning this degraded view of humanity that we're all addicted to everything. It's just not true.
And what about those 15 to 24-year-olds who now spend 4 hours a day on their mobile phones? Have you got no worries or fears for them?
Well, they'll learn to handle it. You know, youth generally do. The same scares were going on when television first started. And what's really striking is, if you look at their numbers about, you know, generational difference, actually a whole lot of young people do object to using a mobile phone in the mealtime period. They don't object so much to using a mobile while you're watching TV. I don't object, and I'm not 18 to 24, but they do object to loud use of mobiles on trains and elsewhere. So there isn't such a big intergenerational difference. Yes, they use it a lot, and they use you know, television less. There's no need to be alarmist about this. It's part of the evolution. Meanwhile, a whole bundle of people, especially old people, don't have internet access at all, and they're not using it via the mobile phone. But we don't hear so much about that. All we hear is, you know, that we've become automatons and that we're chained to our mobile phones and so on. It's a very misanthropic view of the common man and common woman.
Professor James Woodhousen, appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.